Hey guys, it's Cast1. Today we're going to show you guys how to take apart a store-bought rod and use its parts for repairs. This is a Team Daiwa rod. I picked it up at my local thrift store. Now that is a great tip to know, is go to your local Goodwill, what is that other one called? Salvation Army, and your mom and pop's thrift stores, and they can help you guys save broken rods, and you could use those broken rods to get cheap parts from to replace other, your repair rods for your customers of store-bought rods. And I wouldn't use these parts on my custom rods. um, that's just not the same anymore. So definitely this is a good way to save you money, save your customers money for shipping and freight and everything like that, and getting your replacement parts from actual store-bought rods. So today we're gonna get all the guides off of this. We're only gonna do two of them because everything's the same. I'm not even gonna do the hook keeper because the hook keeper, I'm not gonna do it on camera. The hook keeper is the same way you get the guides off. We're gonna try to get the butt cap off. This butt cap is metal. We definitely want to get the winding check off if it's metal, and it comes out it is. And I'm not worried about the grips because the grips are what they call, it's cork, but it's cheaper just to replace it with brand new grips if I was going to fix this rod, but this rod's broken. Anyway, you go to your mom and pop store and you ask them to save the rods, and the rods, I bought this rod for $1. And I was okay paying $1 because with I think it was 4 guides, the exposed blank reel seat from Fuji, the winding checks, it's already over $1. So I was okay paying that price. So you just want to check with those thrift stores and those sometimes pawn shops will do it. You just got to talk to them and say, hey, look, keep your broken rods, just don't throw them away, and I'll pay you for them. And they'll be happy to do it if it's just, pennies on the dollar. So let's get to it. So we're going to start by taking off this guide, and you can use an X-Acto knife or a regular razor blade. In this video I switched between both of them just to show you can do it with both of them, and you need a butane torch. Now what you want to do is you want to use your torch and heat up on the epoxy, not the blank, and you want to heat up starting at the foot of the guides. This is a double foot guide, so as you do one side, then I'll jump to the other, and you want the epoxy to bubble up. When it bubbles up, that basically says it's done. And if you get a little bit of flame, it's okay. Sometimes if you do both sides right away, you'll be able to pull up right through that thread in epoxy and get the foot right out. But you have to clean it up more because there's going to be residue on the foot. Now, I like to scrape. If I have to scrape the thread in the epoxy, I scrape towards the guide and up the foot, so if you slip, you don't get it right onto the blank and scratch your blank. To get off the rest of the epoxy, I just like to heat it up with the butane torch and get it to loosen up and pop. If you get a flame, just blow it out real quick and keep going. And be delicate. Make sure you don't scratch your blank. And it's a thread, so it's wrapped. So you're going to, if you find a loose piece, you're going to be able to grab that loose piece and pull it so that it unwinds like it was put on. Take off the tread bands and you're good to go. So what you see here is I got all the guides off that I need to get off using the same process as before, even the hook keeper, and now I'm working down the blank towards the butt to get off the winding check. What you need to do is you need to clear out all the epoxy that's stuck in front of it. There's thread in front of this winding check, and I'm just going to heat it up with a not a heat gun, but a butane torch, and I'm just going to try to get rid of it and clear it out. I'm not worried about this cork grip. You'll see me burn the top of it a little bit. I'm in no way I'm keeping it. So I'm not worried about it. At one point, I thought this grip was actually an EVA material that was made to mimic cork, but you'll find out cutting into it here in a few seconds that it's actually real cork, and that surprised me a little bit on here. So I'm just cutting away the thread and getting it out of the way so I can get to that winding check, because you got to work that, get to that reel seat, you got to come off towards the top of the rod. And to remove the grip, the foregrip, all I do here is cut a wedge just to get to the blank, and we'll remove it with a better angle. Alright, coming to the Cast One crotch cam here. Sorry, it's just a better angle. I'm working this foregrip with a heat gun, and eventually you'll heat up that cork enough that it will just pop right off, and you'll see it just come right off and just chip away into your hand, and you can just throw it away. And then, or you can save your cork for to make your own pit paste for when you have pits in used cork. So that's one thing you can do with it. But anyway, so all we're trying to do is get to this winding check a little bit better so we can heat it up more evenly so that we can get it off the rod. And I hit it up with a butane torch because it is metal, and I'm heating it up, and it becomes loose, but it's not going to come off because of all the epoxy from on top of the logo, and there's still some thread underneath, so I'm just cutting away the thread right now. So let me go ahead and just apologize for my attire. It was a late night. I was working in my rod shop just trying to make a video. I usually build naked, but for you guys I want to save you the nightmares from that. So what I'm doing here is I'm heating up the epoxy right above the winding check. It's loose, but that epoxy above the logo is too thick. It's not coming off. So you got to remove a little bit of that to finally get it a smaller enough diameter for that winding check to come down. And I use a combination of a razor blade and my butane torch. Eventually it just slides right off. So use that later. Get the hood off, and I decided to go to the butt cap or the butt piece. So what you have to do is why I went and jumped down to the bottom, because once I get this off, if I need to heat up the blank, I can get through that cork and through the reel seat to heat up the epoxy underneath faster by shooting the heat down the blank. Now I wouldn't do this on a rod that I was repairing. I would be doing it outside because this could be internally messing it up. But like I said, I wasn't really going to use this rod for anything else but to get the parts off of it. So I can use the blank for practice for other things. Always keep your blanks. So I get it off.
That's a metal.
And I want you to hear this audio.
Not bad. So. Did you hear that? That was a reel seat. And did you look at that? Sometimes you just gotta check. Done. Now the insert, that's going to be the problem.
So that reel seat came off real easy because all it was a tube that had a carbon fiber wrap around it, and so it wasn't real carbon fiber. It had a look of carbon fiber, but it wasn't real, and it was just stuck on with epoxy, regular old epoxy, and it snapped right off. Other blanks used. Other rod companies use thread. They'll use cardboard. Not thread. They'll use yarn, but they'll use yarn and cardboard. Um, you know, I was taught masking tape. Um, there's also arbors. Pacific Bay makes their own arbors that you can put in there. So um, it all depends on who made it and what company it is. They all use different things, and all custom rod guys use different things. But it came off real easy, and I'm not expecting to get this insert off as fast as I got that reel seat off. And all it takes is just heating it up, heating it up, heating it up, and eventually that epoxy that's underneath will give loose, and you'll be able to pop it right off. No, I'm not going to keep this insert and use it. Basically, I just wanted to get it off so I have one blank instead of a piece that's up, but the blank I'm going to use just for writing anyway. So just to try to get it off. It was just a simple little goal of mine for right now. So I'm just heating it up with my typical heat gun, and just keep working at it. I eventually flip the rod over. I wouldn't do this on any other rod, but this rod's broken, and I put the tip into my rug there and press down, and it pops right off. Well, there it is. I appreciate everybody watching. If you could, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell for videos of more tips, tricks, and hacks with rod building. I'm here to help you guys out, so just let me know when you need help. Come join me this upcoming weekend, the February 23rd and 24th in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, for the International Custom Rod Building Expo. It's going to be awesome. I mean, this is the mecca of all mecca places for rod building. I'll be working in the Pacific Bay booth, helping them out. And hey, stop by, give me a shout out. Let me know you're there. It'll be awesome. I appreciate it so much, everything. And thank you again. And I hope you guys have a great day, and hopefully see you there. Thank you guys.